Welcome to the Fifth Trooper Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Fifth Trooper Podcast. My name is Jay Shalansky, and joining me as always is Evan Boris.
Dekana Wanda Gonda.
Perfect. I actually like that. Okay.
It kind of sounded like something Star Warsy, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was good. No, I liked it. So this has been a crazy week since our last podcast. So today's episode is going to be a little different than what we've been doing with the kind of the different segments. We're probably going to stick in news for most of the segment, and I promise I won't have the music on in the background the whole time. We also have an interview with the head judge, as he's now called. He's no longer called the High Marshal anymore, but the head or top judge, Brendan Franzen from Gen Con. And we're basically going to talk about all the releases. There's been a couple news releases. We got a core set ourselves. We're going to talk about that and our interactions with that so far, and maybe, whatever else comes to our minds today. So first up, housekeeping. So we did reach the 500 mark on our Patreon, which is crazy exciting. So we're going to start doing battle reports or bat reps for those of you in the know. And we actually have one already that we're working on, and so that's very exciting, and that'll be launching around early September, and so that'll be pretty cool. And thank you so much for all of you who have supported us. And if you want to support us, patreon.com/thefifthtrooper. If you can't afford it, or you don't want to give us your money, we understand, no problem. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, man, we really appreciate that too. Even those, every subscribe helps us get to the next. We're trying to get to that tier, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the actual name of the tier, but yeah, try to get to that so we can start using that to help fund our projects too.
Yeah, and next week we are actually going to have a very cool giveaway that we're going to announce, and we will only give it away to one of our YouTube subscribers at random. I promise you, we're going to announce it next week, but I promise you're going to want in on this. So get to the YouTube now, and or you can wait a week and see what it is. I'm telling you, it's big.
I don't even know what it is.
That's right. It's so Black Ops and secret. I've kept it from Evan. But anyway, so thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. And all right, so now we're going to move into Legion news.
News from the week in Legion.
All right, welcome to Legion News. Like I said, most of this episode is going to revolve in Legion News just because there's a freaking ton of content.
Yeah, we got a huge info dump.
Oh my God.
And even today we got an article too.
I know. And so I just want to talk about all of it. So the first thing's up, last week at Gen Con, they had their in-flight report where they released a lot of stuff. One of the things that was released is some new Clone Wars stuff. So I'd really like to go through that. And the first thing that was up was the Count Dooku Commander expansion.
Can't wait for this one.
Yeah, for the clones. And this one's pretty exciting. So you have Count Dooku. It looks like he's 205. He's got 3 Force slots and then a 1 gear slot?
Leadership slot.
Leadership.
Or training?
No, it's leadership. It's leadership.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's got cunning, he's got deflect, he's got immune to pierce, he's got, what is this, Makeshi mastery. And I'm reading fuzzy text here, so excuse me. While performing a melee attack, if you
take away a pierce, you can get rid of their immune to pierce.
Oh, yeah.
So you get pierce 1, but they don't get pierce protection from you.
Ooh. By 1, it says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he's nuts, right? He's got, I think it's Impact 2, Pierce 2. He surges to crit. He's got Force Lightning.
They cannot use immune pierce. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Master of the Force 2, which is neat.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Dooku's lightsaber, which is his melee. It's 5 red, Impact 2, Pierce 2. And then his lightning, which is 5 black, Pierce 1, and scatter. That's that new word that they put on the operative Vader, too.
Yep, it's you can take the movement of the unit. The unit leader stays where he is, but you can move around within cohesion all the rest of their units, all the models in that unit, so you can pull them out of cover. Ooh. Potentially. Like, if the leader's touching the barricade like he probably wants to be, you can pull him in front of it.
Yeah, he looks crazy. Red dice on defense. He's got 6 health, three. What's it called? Just dropped out of my head.
3 courage.
3 courage. Thank you.
Dude, his 3 pips 3 nuts too.
Yeah. So you disappoint me. Count Dooku and 2 units. When Count Dooku issues an order to a unit, that unit gains 1 dodge token. After Count Dooku performs a ranged attack against a trooper unit, he may perform a speed 2 move with that unit.
Yeah, so it's like a super push
Right.
or pull. Right, that's pretty nuts. I was actually kind of surprised how good he was. You know, in the movie he seemed good, but not like super nuts. But I just got finished reading Dooku Jedi Lost, and the book about him and Asajj, and it's more of a narrated play, but he's, you know, pretty insane in that. Like, so there's actually some cool, like, I don't know what they base it off of, but he's in the book, he's pretty crazy awesome. So it's cool to actually see him get represented in the game like that.
Yeah, and then we have
Captain Rex.
On the clone side, we have Captain Rex, and let's see here. So, looks like 90 points. He's got leadership, training, 2 gear slots, and a grenade slot.
Yep.
Gunslinger, Scout 1, Scouting Party 2. Oh, that's that new thing. So after you scout, choose up to 2 friendly trooper units at range 1 to 2, and they may perform a move with equal to your scout.
Okay. Yep.
Sharpshooter 1 also has Tactical 1, which is when you perform a standard move, you get an aim token. So that's pretty cool. So you're actually getting 3 actions potentially out of him in a turn.
Yeah, he's pretty solid for 90 points.
Yeah, and so the weapon that he has on him, 1 to 2 range, 3 red dice. He has melee at 2 red dice. That's cool. Health of 5, 2 courage, surges to crit.
The gunslinger too.
Yeah.
Our gunslinger being able to shoot like 6 red dice potentially, right? Things to note though, he does not have immune to pierce, so that 5 health can disappear real quick. But he also comes with what I've seen in different models: his Phase 2 clone helmet, his Phase 1 clone helmet, and then without a helmet. Yeah. So you get a couple different ways to build him, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then it says, okay, so they show us 3 pip. We're not programmed. You get to give, up to 4 clone troopers. Clone Captain Rex gains Inspire 2 and 2 Surge tokens. When Clone Captain Rex activates, he recovers.
Real good.
Oh my goodness.
He's going to be pretty nuts. You're going to see a lot of Captain Rex, I think.
Yeah, well, and he's cool, right? And
yeah, I mean, he's that's right. It should be, right? Like, that's the same thing with Dooku. Like, he's cool, right? Like, it's a neat. Yeah. They should be powerful.
So we got the, let's see.
Phase 2s.
Yeah, so the Phase 2s, it looks like they're going to be about 60 points. They have fire support. They have Reliable 1 at the, what's this? At the beginning? At the start. At the start of the activation phase, gain 1 Surge token. That's not bad.
Nope, it's pretty good.
1 health, 2 courage, red dice on defense. Their gun, 1 to 3, 1 black. They have melee is 1 black. They have the heavy trooper, the 5th trooper. They have the training, the gear, and the grenade slot. Let's see. They show the Phase 2 troopers. So the 5th trooper there's 15 points. That's not awful.
They show a Z6 too. Like, it's not. Yeah, it's not there.
1 to 3.
But yeah.
Then they got this other weapon, probably the DLT version. It doesn't show the dice, but it's 2 to 4 with critical 1 and suppressive.
Oh, it's that little mortar.
And cumbersome.
Yeah,
Yeah, this motor. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Let's see what else. So that's those. Oh, and then the
Super Battle Droids being a core unit is interesting. I really thought they'd make them specialists, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they got some other options though, like those spider droids and stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, like because you think like I would compare these guys. They only have white dice though, for defense. I thought
Yeah.
I guarantee in my head these had red dice, right?
Okay. So these look like they're either 40 or 48. I can't tell.
Yeah.
They got AI attack. They got armor 1. Oh, that's cool. They have a heavy, a 5th trooper, and a communications. Black and a white, 1 to 2. Range for their arm cannons. Unarmed, it's just a black. Like Evan said, white dice on defense. It looks like they only come with 3 in the standard. 2 health and 2 courage. Looks like they got a B2 ACM trooper, 1 to 2. Looks like 3 or more red dice. I can't see the other one.
Yeah.
Then the other is the B2HA trooper, which
that's probably the rocket launcher.
2 to 3. That's odd. A red, white, blast, psycho,
Impact 2,
and impact 2. And then they come with integrated command comms antenna. That's what that is. Yeah. So these guys look interesting. I'm with you. I thought they were going to be like Imperial Royal Guard or something.
Right? Because to me, super battle droids are like death troopers, right? They're like mean dudes who show up. I guess they're kind of dumb, but they're supposed to be like kind of crazy guys. So I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm surprised they're core, but now we get to the 2 real big things, right?
Yeah.
Physically
big things.
Yeah.
So this is the TX-130 Saber class fighter tank.
This is for clones.
9 health, 6 vehicle.
The
threshold.
Yeah.
Let's see, 170 points. It looks like
that's
not bad.
No, it's really not.
Armor, Arsenal 2, hover, ground. So trying to read the text here.
Yeah, it's real. It's
you
real
can
rough.
reverse, strafe, and stand by. Oh wow! You are treated as a ground vehicle by other units. Oh yeah, because they got the things on the side.
So the base is bigger that you can't see. The base is bigger than the ATST base, and it has marks for movement templates on all 4 sides, from what we can tell. So I'm assuming when it means strafe, we're guessing right now. But it you can kind of move sideways, which is a hover tank. So right, why wouldn't you?
And then it looks like they got something called outmaneuver. You can spend dodge tokens to cancel. It looks like crit results. Holy crap! Crit or surge? I can't tell. But I think it might be crit. Weak point rear and sides. Oh, that's a lot of weak points.
Yeah.
It's weak point 1. Its main weapon 1 to 4, 2 red, 2 black, 2 white, double rainbow. Critical 1, impact 2, fixed front.
That's pretty good.
So then one of its, let's see. Wow, this is a Jedi pilot.
Yeah, it's got a Jedi. It gives Inspire 2 and something else.
Field commander.
Yeah, it's real hard to read though. It's real small.
Yeah. That's cool.
And so what's cool?
A ton of other weapons.
Yeah,
oh
actually,
God.
this when they announced the price point, $60, I didn't know it was bigger. I thought it was like the same size as other vehicles. I'm like, well, that's kind of a lot of money for that. And then seeing all the cards it comes with, seeing how big it actually is in display is pretty cool. I'm more excited now. I'm more in it looks cool. Even this droid one though. This droid one looks.
Yeah. So the AAT Trade Federation battle tank has AI attack. It has armor. It has Arsenal 2. It has barrage. So if you do not use Arsenal during your activation, you can perform up to 2 attack actions. Holy crap.
With your primary gun, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God. It's got the hover ground again, so it can move sideways, sideways, backwards, and standby. Weak point 2, rear. Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool. And a pilot. Looks like it has AI attack, and you gain field commander.
I think you lose AI attack with him.
You lose. Oh yeah, you lose AI attack, and then
he's got a
field commander.
You got a smart boy in there.
Yeah, so he must do the field commander must be something one of friendly.
It's real hard for us to read, but we might try to get through for you. I'm sure there are higher res pictures somewhere, but we're reading off the one off the site right now.
It looks like after a friendly. Something about a command card is played, you may be treated as a commander. That's interesting. But yeah, so I don't know. I have no idea.
It kind of reminds me of if anyone's played Halo, probably somebody has the Covenant or mortar tanks.
Yeah.
Where it had the weaken the back point where you could jump up and like smash them out. So right, like the front's really armored, but if you get behind it, you can start causing some havoc to it.
Yeah, and this one, it looks like you can add 2 of the extra weapons onto it. And this one looks about 170 or 178. 9 health, 6 threshold, damage threshold, red dice.
Honestly, just the tank alone without any upgrades seems okay, right?
Yeah.
Being able to throw two 4 red die attacks, it seems good.
Yeah, so the other one you could only have 1 weapons upgrade, so that's really interesting.
But your main cannon's better, right?
Yeah, right. This one's 4 red for the main cannon, 2 to 4, crit 2, something visibility, and impact 1. Oh, high velocity.
Oh, so you
High
can't
velocity
dodge it.
and impact 1, so you can't dodge it. Holy crap.
That's pretty cool.
Ah. And then,
You got nimble, you say? That's a real shame.
yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. That sounds good. So that's the new Clone Wars stuff. That was from just not too far after Gen Con that stuff came out. Then today,
They were
we
announced.
get
Yeah,
an article.
we did our our last episode. We had a lot of hot takes about the stuff that was announced. It was crazy because the article we're talking about today, or if they had dropped this at the Gen Con announcement, I think I would have been like not as like kind of like on the fence about it because these are really cool.
Yeah, it seems interested because these are both coming out. It said Q4 of this year, so it's interesting that these were not even
mentioned,
right?
Like not even a model up on display anywhere. Like I think that's kind of crazy.
So basically, what for the 4 factions that will be out in September, roughly, we think that's when the core set will come out.
Best guess, yeah.
Yeah, best guess. They've released 4 upgrade expansions to the original core units that come in each box set, and they come with new models which you could just plug and play into your current core sets, which is really nice.
Yeah, what's cool about that is so they give you the base card and they come with multiple guns for the guys, so you could give them all the standard gun.
Yep.
And use all the alt sculpts as guys for your army, which is cool just to mix it up. Because I mean, I think we're all kind of sick of looking at the same, Rebel guys and the same. Because I've painted so many at this point, I just know them, right? So it's just cool to get multiple sculpts.
And it looks like they come with multiple weapon upgrades. So like you have like the T-21 Stormtrooper, which is a 1 to 3, 4 white dice. 27 points, critical 2. Yeah. You have the other one, which one was that? Was it the RT-97C?
Yep.
Yeah. The RT-97C, which is 1 to 4, 1 red and 3 white. So it's like a DLT.
It's the Pintle, right? On the tank.
Yeah.
They just like rip the tank gun off the top and start using it.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to come with smoke grenades. It looks like they're going to come with another card that gives, so it looks like a training card that gives you tactical 1. That's
cool.
Pretty interesting. I know that they said there's like a comms trooper in there.
Maybe. I know. I think they're all kind of getting the same kind of stuff for each of the different packs.
Right here. So there's a stormtrooper captain, which I don't know what that does, but it looks like maybe it makes leader and you gain something. Hard to see.
Probably a training slot.
Image. No, it's a trooper upgrade. So it's like your 5th trooper where you would put a unit.
No, no, that's fine. He probably gives you a training because they give you a training card in there,
right,
and you don't have one,
you
right?
gain something, yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, because I was worried that these might replace the not the operatives, but the specialists. When I saw the commander, but the normal commanders give you Inspire 1 and increase your courage by 1, so they'll still have a place, right?
Yeah, so that's neat. That's interesting. So we got that. So Rebels got a similar thing, and they got the let's see,
all them alien lads.
Yeah, so a bunch of aliens. They got heavy weapon upgrades. One of them had impact. That was the SX-21 Trooper, gives you impact 1, range 1 to 2, 2 red, 2 white. I love how they gave Rebels impact, but you still got to get within 2 to even use it. Like,
well, it's kind of like that Doros, right? He's got to get close to use that shotgun kind of thing he's got. I think it's funny, though, because he's probably going to be a little taller, so I wonder how many times people are going to be like, well, I can't see you, but I can see the Duro's eyes, so
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to fire at that.
You also get a DLT 20A, so instead of the DLT 19, you get 1-4, 2 black, 1 white, and it's critical 1.
No, she's really cool.
Yeah.
That's being able to have like an almost DLT is really nice. To have maybe put one unit with that. Z6 are still cool, but that's pretty cool. I think you might see her a lot more.
Yeah, and it looks like new Rebel Trooper Captain, a Grand Rebel Trooper Specialist, the 2 new weapons. Yep. And, same thing, looks like they come with smoke grenades and then the tactical 1 training upgrade. So the B1 upgrades, which is funny that they're coming out with upgrades when we literally just got these guys.
Do you see the poison token?
Yeah. I just saw that.
I just noticed it too. I looked at them really today and I didn't really see it before, but there's definitely
there's a weapon there. That's okay. So they got a gun,
anti-human gun.
So there's a security droid that you can tap, and when you activate, you lose the AI attack until the end of this activation.
Yeah, that's cool. He's only he's 9 points compared to 6.
Yeah, and you got to tap him. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's a weapon in here. It's got a 1 to 2 range, and it has poison 1, and it looks like it's a heavy. So that's pretty interesting.
That's actually really funny because droids can't be poisoned.
Yeah, and then they have the ESS B1 Trooper, which is 1 to 4, 1 red, 1 white with critical 1 for 20 points.
It's their sniper, right? So far, right? Which is cool.
Looks like there's a couple comms upgrades, and then a training that we can't see, or not training, a gear.
Usually if they're face down, it's something that's already out. Yeah. So it looks like they all come with something, maybe some sort of gear, like a environmental gear.
Yeah, that could be.
The clone one looks cool though. Yeah, that's so we can't see that we're looking through the 2 cards, but the one rocket card they spoiled.
Yeah, so they have a rocket which is 2 to 4, the rainbow, red, black, and white, no tap. It's cumbersome though with impact 2.
And it's 26 points. That's what the HH12 should have been, right? Just a little bit cheaper. The HH12 looks even worse now, right?
Yeah, agreed. And it looks like they come with they all come with a new captain and some sort of specialist. These ones also have DP23, which is 1 to 2 range, a black, white with Pierce 1. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's because they didn't really have the clones themselves didn't really have a Pierce candidate. Like the Rebels have the shotguns from the fleet troopers, right? Sorry, I'm stuttering my words today. And then snipers all around, and then you've got different things for Imperials to get that Pierce. But so it's cool to actually have a Pierce in there. Pierce is a very, very powerful ability.
Yeah, and it looks 4th quarter of 2019.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me. I figured that these would be next year too. So now I'm like, I don't know the time frame of any of this.
All right, so I think I might have it.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here's my this is purely speculative.
I'll take it.
Okay. So August.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but Dewbacle and Shore Troopers I think are going to come out this month.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay. We had maybe towards the end of the month because we had the veterans and Tauntauns were delayed to the end of the month. They came out in August, right?
The veterans Tauntauns?
Yeah.
They came out last week, didn't they?
Yeah, which was August 1st. They came out on August 1st or 2nd.
Okay.
So I think they were delayed a little bit by a week. So let's assume either they're on time or delayed by a week. So you're going to see Dewbacle Shore Troopers probably towards the end of August, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's a shame because it won't be in time for the Canadian Grand Championships or Nova.
Right. You're going to see, I think, the new core set in September.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think about mid-month, if I had to guess.
Yep.
So then what do we have? We have October, November, December, okay? Mm-hmm. And there's potentially 3 to 4 releases in there. You have C-3PO R2 in the pod.
Yep.
Which I bet...
Is that this year?
Yep.
Okay.
They said it was Q4 2019. So here's what I think is going to happen. September will be the core set.
Yep.
I think either with it or... slightly after it, I think is going to be. It looked like the bunker was probably in better shape than R2, and so then that'll be September, October. Then November will be R2D2 and the pod, the C3PO R2D2 pod. And then December, I think, will be the 4 upgrades.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, man, I really just got to pick an army now. With the releases that were staggered or slow, like months that are just 2 operatives come out, spending $24 to get 2 guys is cool, but I can't support all 4 armies now, so I got to just pick one and roll with it, I think.
Yeah, well, and I think they said, from my understanding, was that what we saw on the in-flight report video or PowerPoint presentation was that the tanks,
they're all next year.
Yeah, it's Q1 of 2020.
Clone Trooper, everything that was shown was next year.
Phase 2, B2s, all 2020.
Yeah, so that sounds about right. Having a month of just a terrain release is kind of a bummer, but the fact that R2D2 and C3PO can be used in either the Rebels or the Galactic Empire is cool. You get a double release there. I want them just because they look cool. Those, it's R2D2 and C3PO. Those are just cool models to have. Bunker, I don't want to buy 2, but I'm probably going to buy 2 so I can stick them together and make a base, right? That's going to feel like a real bad month when I'm like $150 in for buildings. But yeah, with the operatives, because you probably want, without more cards spoiled, one of my friends messaged me. He's like, how many should I buy of these coming out? Because he's looking to get in the game. He's pre-ordered a couple core sets for the new set. He's like, oh, geez, these came out. What do I need?
Yeah.
I'm like, at least 2, maybe 4, depending on how powerful these, like how interesting these cards make it. If he's only doing 1, he's just doing clones though. So buying 4 to make your clone army a little bit more diverse is fine. But as like us who get into everything, I'm like, oh geez, I gotta just pick one and just roll with it.
Okay, so we're gonna move into we'll move into talking about some other stuff, but I just wanted to wrap up Gen Con real quick.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of controversies coming out of Gen Con. And actually we're going to have Brendan Franzen on, like we said, in a few minutes. And what we want to talk to Brendan about is 2 things. Number 1, the new floor rules that came out. We heard there was some DQs and some people had game losses and stuff like that we heard that through the rumor mill.
Yeah.
And so we're going to ask him about that. And then number 2, we wanted to ask him about is also, we heard through the rumor mill, and I think Scoundrels talked about this yesterday on their podcast, is that we all went into Gen Con with the assumption that invites would roll down. So if someone had won, they were giving away 4 at Gen Con. If someone had won one of the 4 that had already won an RPQ, that it would get rolled down to the next person, and that is not the case. They burned those.
Okay. Yeah. I'll let them talk about that.
So okay.
That's a hot topic for me.
We'll talk. So we caught Brendan while he was traveling back from Gen Con, so it's a little noisy in the background, but you'll be able to hear him. Here's Brendan.
It's about time we get some intel. Welcome to the 5th Troopers Interrogation Room.
Okay, so joining me now, right from the airport, you're still traveling for Gen Con, aren't you, Brendan?
I am sure. I'm sitting actually between Concourse A and Concourse B at the Indy Airport. There's a very cool old-style car and a whole bunch of people walking by.
Perfect. So if you hear some weird noise in the background or announcements, that's why.
Yep.
So, Brendan, once again, you were High Marshal at another event, this time.
Ooh, sir, there's a new document on tape as of last week. It is called the Floor Rules, and the official term is Head Judge.
Head Judge, I'm sorry. I love
That's
High
right.
Marshal, though.
I do, too. I'm a huge Black Templar fan, so I'm a little sad to see it go. It's now Legacy. That makes that T-shirt you made for me a collector's item, sir.
Well, you're a High Marshal in my heart.
Oh, always and forever.
Okay, so you were the top judge.
Yeah, that's me.
And
because it was a Fantasy Flight Games event, they were on board. Obviously, this was their baby.
Yeah.
And I was a contractor for the situation, and it was a wonderful pleasure to work with those individuals. Our TO for this actual weekend was actually Peter, the individual who wrote the floor rules that we just talked about.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was wonderful.
So speaking of the new floor rules, there was rumor going around that they're there were a couple DQs at Gen Con, and I know you can't talk specifically about it, but
Sure.
do you believe, as the top judge, that the new floor rules were helpful in mitigating any issues or on, or anything really, any rules, questions, anything going on at Gen Con?
Sure, they were, and obviously, the fantasy flight policy regarding any sort of suspension or disqualification is that fantasy flight will not comment on any ongoing or previous suspensions. That's actually available on their website for the suspension policy.
Yep.
Because I have been contracted by them and involved with this, I will adhere to those rules as well. I will not answer any questions regarding situations that came up specifically there. Those players deserve every bit of privacy and candid situations. They deserve that respect. And any information that is out there is going to be generated either by the players themselves and what they are willing or are not willing to share, and by obviously anyone who's there, witnesses to whatever went down.
Okay,
so
I understand.
I guess back to your original question though, right?
Yeah.
So your question was
The new floor rules.
Yeah.
How did they assist in helping you make decisions and rules decisions and calls as the top judge on the floor? Were they helpful for you?
I believe that they are absolutely what the casual competitive sort of environment that Fantasy Flight Organized Play is trying to create is exactly looking for. It was 100% helpful because you're running around, you're doing a lot of things, and the point system is a little bit of a comfort level. You got to get used to that, and you got to get used to being willing to say, you know what, the rules based on this are, I feel as the TO, this is a 1 point warning for slow play, or this is a 1 point warning for, whatever, or this is a 2 point hard warning, this is not okay. And that is, the neat thing is, like, sitting next to Peter, I got to understand really what they are hoping to accomplish, and hear from him what we're looking for. And really, I playfully say that this document was kind of a live test of a live document. It's not an alpha or a beta here where it's going to go live soon. This is a live document to be used immediately. 100% support this document. It was very well written. For anyone out there who's familiar with the Adepticon event or Las Vegas Open, I believe, Jay, did we use that document for Northeast Open?
The new no, it
No,
came
I'm
out.
sorry. The tournament regulations addendum is what I didn't preface that.
Yes, that one we did. Yep.
Okay, so that document was created based on other rules that are out there in wargaming communities. Credit to the ITC system there. And it was kind of modified to be a supplement of areas that we felt, LJ and I felt, were missing, as well as kind of Kyle Dornbos felt was missing from the competitive scene. And we had to go like how do we handle this? What if there's a serious situation, or even a little one, like the tournament regulations didn't spell out what to do. It says what your responsibilities and expectations are in that tournament regulations. It tells you how to run an event, but it doesn't tell you what do you do on the ground level. What do you do the day of? It tells you how to set one up and what your expectations are, but really not how to implement. That is what this document is designed to do. So officially speaking, moving forward, the RRG, the tournament regulations, the official rules answer form, and now the floor rules are the 4 documents that need to be used to run events like this. The catch, though, and what I really understood, my big takeaway from Peter is that the level at which you choose to enforce and decide your decisions is and always will be the responsibilities of the TO and of the head judge at the event as disseminated and delegated per the document.
Yeah. And so good. I'm glad, I think when that came out, it was good to see that FFG OP was taking the tournament seriously. And it was good to see that they came out with a document. I'm glad it helped you make your decisions and you found it helpful.
It was, and of course, I have my finger a little bit on the pulse of some of the other competitive scenes that are out there. I'm really close with some of the community leads for X-Wing, as well as I actually got to meet a couple of other community leads and competitive judge, even for like Game of Thrones card game this weekend. The benefit of being roomed with a bunch of strangers is you take the time to meet them and you get to maybe experience somebody who is involved in a community that you're not part of. So everybody is using that document. It doesn't matter if it's not just Star Wars Legion. And one of the things that I playfully like to remind is like we are one spoke on a very, very big and very excellent wheel. And as aggressive, in a good way, aggressive and hungry as our community is, we got to remember we are a new community, and that we are now part of a bigger family. Um, and so sometimes I'm actually not sure if we have a picture of David on the Organized Play Facebook yet. I know it's coming as of this recording. Of course, this isn't a live recording, but it'll be coming out, and I look forward to seeing David's smiling face on the Organized Play website. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, I didn't see it yet, but I'm sure it's coming. So the other thing, that maybe you can help explain, because there's some rumors and conversation coming out of this too, and maybe we could just kind of set the record straight. Is my understanding is that at Gen Con and some of the premier level events, that if someone who already has a ticket for Worlds, whether they got that at an RPQ or at Gen Con, that if they win that day, that ticket that they would have taken, instead of getting passed down, actually gets burned, for a better term, but it just goes away.
It does, and so that is at least what happened here. I know that the trickle down system was used in year one. And I believe so far the general kind of consensus is going to be that that previously all these RPQs have been doing trickle down. For this particular event, trickle down was not used. And those players received the invites based on what was initially announced as top 8. And I guess the flip side of it is we had an assumption that it would trickle down, right?
Yes.
But the announcement on Organized Play's website, on their Facebook page, was that the top 8 would get invites. They didn't say the top 8 or next best.
Right.
And there definitely was some rumbles, and I understand that concern because the precedent was there. And I guess the kind of back to what I just said or alluded to is, this is our second year. We are going into year 2. And so year 1, I know you previously expressed concerns like, hey man, we're not getting the spotlight on these people like we hoped for. And I may have constructively brought that to a couple of people, and I would like to reassure you, and unofficially, right, not speaking on behalf of anybody,
right.
I made that information aware that hey, but and at the same time, back the other direction. I'm saying, hey, remember, guys, like this is not a very large team. They are working very hard to support all of us, and by all of us, I mean the entire community of games that Fantasy Play puts out. Fortunately, sometimes things get missed, and the one kind of takeaway that I got is that it wasn't just Legion, but I guess my positive reinforce was like I basically said it this way. It's like, we want to know in the spotlight who our guys are. We want to put those guys up there and put them on a pedestal. And the response I got, unofficially, is that they want to do that too, and they are working very hard They're crunching very hard. They are changes are being made to structure, right? They changed everything. We went from maximum firepowers to grand championships, right? And that's not just a name change. That's a structural change. And we didn't even have a continental tier. This is a tier that didn't exist.
Yeah. So let me ask you a follow-up question to that
Sure.
too. Is that also coming out of that if there was a last chance qualifier leading into
Yeah.
Worlds,
Great
that
question.
people who already have their tickets will not be allowed into the last chance qualifier?
Great question. So, again, talking about the larger community as a whole, something that was news to me is that X-Wing, and I believe at least one other game, and I don't remember which one it was, when they have a last chance qualifier, Jay, they do not, they don't give out prizes for it. The prize is the invite.
Right.
And so there's like this year, it was a last chance qualifier, but really that was a name. It was a maximum firepower event that just happened to have a whole bunch of invites. From a perspective, let's relabel that and say what it was, right? It was maximum firepower that just happened to have whatever we knew who was coming on Saturday, and we gave out invites based on what we knew was missing.
Right.
And because the intent was we wanted absolutely a 32-person tournament for a high. And so that's what we did. So I guess what I'm alluding to is that the structure of a last chance qualifier for Worlds is not yet clearly defined, but it is being worked on. It is being discussed on how we're doing it. Spoiler alert: I'm running World. I'm sure that's a shock, but that's already on the books. I'm going to be doing it. I'm already in some of those talks. With all the different projects and all the things that are on my plate right now. We are doing that, and it's a big deal. We are talking. Those communication channels are opening up. I think you've seen it. I think everybody else has seen it. Got Matt Holland on the OP team, and boy, can you give him an @ and his user handle? I think it's PB Poncho or something like that. I don't remember off the top of the head, and I'm not looking at my screen. But if you give him an @ like his turnaround on replying is pretty good. Obviously,
and I'll say too, I've noticed on the Facebook that both himself and some of the other guys like Derek Fuchs from the Sculpt team are actively answering questions.
He is a huge fan of Star Wars Legion.
Yeah.
I got to meet him at Worlds. He's a huge fan. He actually messaged me and asked me to say hi to everybody on site because he was sorry he couldn't be there. He wanted to be there, he wanted to be there at Gen Con this weekend and was sorry that he was missing. So huge name.
Yeah, so one last question for you, Brendan, and then I'll let you
Sure.
go.
No worries.
How was your overall experience at Gen Con? What'd you think, man?
Pumped, exhausting, exciting. This is the first time. It was kind of a strangely unique situation at Adepticon. I was an Adepticon staff member working in a Fantasy Flight area, and so I was not a contractor on that. In this case, I was a contractor for Fantasy Flight games. I actually haven't contracted in 3 years. They kept me on their call list, so they still had my paperwork. But golly, man, there is not a single individual up or down the chain of command that was not a pleasure to work with. They are truly a great group of people. I don't say that lightly. I'm not kissing ass. Pardon my.
Sure, you're
is
not.
Is that my free one, Jay? By the way.
Yeah, that's your free swear word for this podcast. Okay. Now Evan and I are relegated to speaking normal.
Nah, Jay, you know me. I'm a straight shooter. It was truly a pleasure and an opportunity to work with those individuals. It was truly a pleasure to see. We had people that I didn't know showing up, and so we got new faces, we got new blood, we got people coming in. So many people. For anybody not familiar with the location we were the first thing on the left when you walked in the exhibit hall.
Nice.
And you want to talk about prime location? That's where Star Wars Legion.
That's great.
People walking by asking questions. Oh, what is this? I didn't know there was this game. We are turning heads as we like to do at these events. Just like we did at NEO, man, right in the center footprint. We are making waves. We're pushing. We were first in that position, next to X-Wing, next to Armada, next to the card games. Keyforge guys, obviously, I know you're a Keyforge fan, Jay.
Me? No.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. Yes, of course I am.
Busted. Jay plays Keyforge. He's
Yeah,
not
a
just
lot.
yeah. So I came up with a term this weekend, a cross player. Not somebody who gender bends their cosplay. A cross player is somebody who plays multiple games.
Oh, I like it.
Yep. So you are, but no, Jay. This was my fourth Gen Con. It was my best Gen Con, and I'm looking forward already to the next year. But I tell you what, brother, I need a break.
Yeah.
I
Well, yeah, you sound tired, man. So
am
thank
jet
you so
lagged.
much.
No problem, Jay. I know you reached out to me and I'm traveling, but I wanted to make time for you before I finally cool my jet and get to see my dogs and my wife and my family. Very special back home.
Well, appreciate it and safe travels.
Of course, brother. And I will see you down the road.
Yeah, so I think Brendan was definitely towing the company line there, which is good. He needs to. But here's my thought. I think they needed to announce it. I think they needed to clearly state, I understand doing it. So I know you may be in disagreement with this, so we can argue about it. But
sure.
I liked it.
The fact that they got burned?
Yeah.
The invites. So this happened in the X-Wing community a while ago, and it became like a weird form of like bullying, right? Like, I'm going to win this event just so there's not another guy going to Worlds for me to play. That's, to me, that's pretty lousy. If you win one, you did it, man. You're in. Like, let someone else get in. So it's up to, I think you should have, last time for the X-Wing, I think it was up to the marshal's discretion, but I don't know what the official ruling is.
So this is Fantasy Flight. Basically what it is all the grand championships, all of that stuff, LVO.
Yeah.
That they burn them because, and here's why I think, because, okay, I have an RPQ invite, right? My travel is not covered. But David won, he had an RPQ invite, travel not covered, but now that he has the grand championship, his travel's covered. And he won other prizes. He won that big ass dice and some other stuff.
Yeah, I guess to me, it's just kind of lousy for a guy who already had something to go and win and take something else away from somebody.
And to be
who
fair,
had a chance.
for David and everyone at Gen Con, they had no idea. No one had any idea.
Yeah, no, I'm not like targeting anybody out
here.
It's just in general, like, I'd be, if I came in fifth, like, I just didn't make the cut, and then I like, say you won first, and you're like, yeah, I didn't need this, now it's just gone, and I'm like, oh, that's really lousy, right?
Yeah, but I guess I didn't need the invite. Right? Okay, so let's look at David, for instance, right? He doesn't need the invite. He's already invited.
Yeah.
But now his travel is covered.
Sure.
So maybe he needed that.
No. So that's different. There's monetary value there.
Yeah.
Right? This is just invites to this event, period.
What do you mean?
So, like, he already had an invite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes in and wins another one. Would that one
You're
not
saying
go...
give him the travel, but then roll down the invite without the travel.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So just say, hey, fifth guy.
Oh, maybe.
Or like the guy who came in second at his event. That's harder to do.
So me personally, like, I would, now that I have an invite, like, I'm not going to go, I've been avoiding other RPQs, and I'm not going to go to LVO and play. I'm not, I might go to LVO. We might go to stream, but I'm not going to go to play. Because I don't want to hurt anybody else's chances of getting in. But at the same, so I'm 50-50 on this, because that's part of me. But then the other part of me was like, well, if you weren't good enough to beat me or whoever, then maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe because that's going to be your competition.
Yeah, to me, there's a sportsmanship thing of that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've already got something, right? Like, you're just denying other people for the sake of it. is kind of lousy.
Sure, but I don't think it's the person who has the invite's fault. I think it's the way FFG has designed it. So if you walked it back to what you said before, where it was you get the travel, you get the trophy, you get all the fun stuff. We're going to take your RPQ invite, quote unquote, and we're going to roll it down to the next guy. Yeah. That's different.
No, that is different. That's 100% different because you're not just icing an invitation to it, right? It's, okay, this is coming from a guy who makes a lot of day twos but never wins nothing. All right. So my stance on this is it can be taken as like sour that I've never gotten in somewhere, and I really don't want it to be like that.
That is how I was saying.
Yeah, that's how you just take it originally. But it's just like, to me, it's just kind of, it stinks. Like they want to build these communities and create these good things, and you shouldn't. If a guy wants to keep playing and paying, because it's to get into Nova, it's $30 an event. Yeah. So for X-Wing and Legion, I'm in $60 before I've even put dice on the table. Yeah. So to go in there and to have somebody else come in and then like beat everybody who's good, that's fine if he's good. But then just to take one and he knows it, or she knows it, could be either. To take one and they know it, is kind of lousy. Like I get you want to play and you shouldn't be stopped from playing, but to just burn that invite, because you came and knocked me out. I came in like 5th or something. Like I was just one down, and. Cool, thanks. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I've been on this train since last year, right? Yeah. When we thought they were burning them last year, but then
I really, if they
turned
kicked
out
it
they
down,
were trickling them down, but they're not doing that this year. So
yeah, it just stinks. Like I feel like that's right. I don't hold it too much to the player, especially Gen Con. They had no idea. Like that's one thing, going in blind and being told like, hey, sorry, you lost these.
Right. So just to be clear, David from Notorious Scoundrels, who won the whole thing, grand champion. Yeah. None of those guys had any idea that was happening. He just went to go play. He thought it would trickle. We all went in with the assumption that it was trickling down like it did last year. So he figured, I'm going to get the grand championship. That'll be great. And then I'm not eating, I
don't have any onus on any of those folks. But now that that's known, like I feel like if you've won, man, maybe just let someone else get in there.
So okay, so here, and this isn't me making this argument. This people have have emailed me and
Devil's
made this argument, which is, I want an RPQ. Okay, I have my invite.
Sure.
How do I continue to practice at a high level to be prepared for Worlds?
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's a lose-lose. I won't even like say that that's not correct, right? Because if you want to keep playing for Worlds. I mean, okay, to be honest, this game's meta changes like every month. Right? Not even meta, but like how the new units that get released. So everything's in flux all the time with this game anyway. But no, that's right. Like there's really no good way to do it. And until they trickle down system, you're going to either be looked at as a villain, not maybe 100% pure heart, right? Like, or you say, hey, I'm here to play, man. I got to practice because Worlds is coming. And that's not on you. Right? That's not on you to say like I need to play these high level players so I can learn. Yeah. Like you shouldn't be punished for that or punish other people, because maybe you could only go to, like, we get to travel, right? We have the luxury of travel sometimes. I'm going up to Canada to get, because that's like that might be the only other chance I get besides Nova to get an invite to Worlds anyway. So we get that luxury that we can go to a few. A lot of these folks can maybe only go to one. Right? Like, that's the only one they they got families, they got lives, they got work.
I guess, okay, but you're assuming they win, right? So I know. Yeah, all right. I get what you're saying. It's tough. It's a tough situation. I don't think there's a good answer to this.
The answer is trickle down. And then, like, that lets the guy who wants to play.
Right. And so, the other thing that they're going to do is, it sounds like that they'll have a last chance qualifier like they did last year, but only people who don't have invites can go.
Huh. That's interesting.
So me, for instance, if I go to Adepticon next year or in 2020, which I am, I got my ticket.
Yeah.
And I cannot get into the last chance qualifier because I already have my ticket to Worlds. So the last chance qualifier is only for people without tickets, because then what they can do is say, okay, we have X number of people registered for the Worlds. We need to let in X more people.
Yeah.
So because that last chance qualifier,
sure,
we're gonna give away eight seats.
No, that's correct, because it's, if you've already won, like the same guys are gonna win. I don't know, like there's right, but then you don't get the last minute practice just to hit play. It's just really
it's just interesting, and I don't think there's a good way to do it. Even the trickle down, I think, hurts because I think it gets dicey as far as like, okay, so let's, for instance, David won. So we just give him the travel and the trophies, and then we just hand down like I think that's where it gets like confusing.
It does,
So
but
maybe they were just like, you know what, it's burnt.
but we're like a big boy company,
Yeah,
right? We're all big boys and
Oh, yeah?
girls here. Like we can figure the stuff out. It's an Excel spreadsheet, man. Like I feel like the answer is they just have to think about it, and it's easier just to burn it right now than to have to worry about it.
So that, so that was Brendan talking about that, and that's kind of our take on that. The second controversy that we didn't even actually find out until today, which is hilarious, we're calling the Dewbacle now.
Yeah,
I
think it was LJ who quoted that.
Somebody,
hashtag that.
All the memes, it's hard to keep track of everything.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, basically what happened was our own Michael Berry from our sister podcast, Notorious Scoundrels, posted a poll because he had heard that some people, their dewbacks that they got at Gen Con came with the huge ATST base instead of the large ATRT base. And it sounds like from what we see that they are supposed to be on ATRT bases, not ATST bases.
Oh, Lord, she coming.
And so he put up a poll to see anybody who got dewbacks at Gen Con, what base they got, and it looks like 100% so far. I know some people, like myself, have one. I have one coming in the mail. There's other people that have them coming, so we haven't checked them all yet. But yeah, it sounds like it's a problem. But I will say that Derek Fuchs, the lead, he's the head of the sculpting department. He's aware of it. Matt Holland, who's the head of community outreach at FFG, they're both aware of it. Here's the problem. Here's a little business insider. Okay,
I'm in.
So when you're developing products, you as a company, because I'm manufacturing in China, right?
Yep.
I have my 3D printed versions, which are my prototypes.
Yep.
I then have basically like what we're going to call an internal engineering sample. Okay. So that's our first samples right off the press. Okay. Before we actually pay for tooling and all this stuff, just the first examples of what the manufacturing process will be. Then you get to your next one, which are your development versions. These are like one step. These are like your beta. Okay, so we go prototype, alpha, beta, and then gold is launch. Okay, so you have your beta, or your development versions, and these are generally ready for consumption for the most part, right? Like there may be little tweaks and stuff that you might have to do before full production, but you're looking at this is it. Mm-hmm. And then you have production. My guess is that the dewbacks and shore troopers and Clone Wars that were given out at Gen Con were one of two things. Either these development versions, or they were early, like the first, they had them, fly over, because usually everything travels by boat because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But they had them fly over 500 copies of each of these on a plane
just to get them over there.
To get them to FFG so that they could sell them at Gen Con. So the question then becomes, if they're due out this week,
what it's gonna be in the box?
Yeah. I don't know that they knew about this before. I think this is the first time they found out about this. So what I think is going to happen is everyone is getting them on ATSTs. So what do? Is the next question. Do you recall them all? Do you tell the distributors? Because what's happening is they go to distribution. They don't go to FFG. They may go to an FFG distribution or Asmodee distribution, and they get sent out to all the other distributors like Alliance and all these other, and then those distributors hold them in their warehouses and then send them out to all their stores, right? So there's multiple levels here. My guess is if they're due out at the end of this month or next month, they're already either warehoused or in the port on their way to warehouse and then going to be spread out. So either they recall them, incurring
they can't
thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in shipping costs and pull, or what you do, there's a couple options. You can have all these distributors, you send them all ATRT bases and they just slap it to the side.
It's probably easiest.
Or, have a little like baggie or something, right? Or you I mean, your other option is you change the unit and you put it on a large base.
I was talking about this.
Or huge, huge base.
Yeah, in one of my my group chats, and we talked about that. Like, what do you do, right? So having them all recalled is a lot of money. Probably you're gonna take a wash on this, right?
Oh,
not
for
good.
sure.
Not good. And it's a game piece, not bread for a family. So you got to what's the next step, right? So I think you're correct. Either people get them, they reach out and they send you the smaller base, or they slap them on bags, right on the side.
So here's the thing: there's no good answers.
No, there's not. Like it's kind of lose.
Because like seriously, it would be cheaper to ship every single store. Actually, it would be cheaper to ship every single individual an ATRT base than it would be to ship those freaking things back to the port to send them back to repack.
It's already out,
It's too late. The other thing they could do is put it on the onus on the distributors that instead of maybe slapping it on the side that, they all have shrink wrap machines. You pop it open, you replace the base, and then you shrink wrap it and close it up. Like they may have to do this mass. They all cost money. They're going to take a wash no matter what they do.
I think,
and so you just have to find what's our cheapest angle here.
Yeah, or they just change it. Say it's on a large base.
Sure.
That blows probably all the play testing.
Least expensive, but that blows all play testing.
Yeah, right. Because we were talking about that, and we're like, well, what if they just roll with it, right? Because the model fits on the base, okay. It fills up the base pretty decently. It's not completely out of the question for it to be on that base, but man, it moves a lot faster.
Yeah, man,
that flamethrower gets a whole lot more space to go. On the flip side, it trying to find cover at that point is harder, right? Because you're a vehicle trooper, so you're not probably gonna get cover anyway. But like it just changes.
Creature trooper.
Yeah, what'd I say?
Vehicle
trooper. Yeah, you're a creature trooper, so cover's not really gonna happen to you unless some extraneous things happen. So it's real weird. I don't know what to do, but the memes coming out of it are pretty good.
Oh my god, I know. So and listen, I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for them.
No. I mean, we were joking about it. Like, we're like, what happened? So a guy gets a letter saying put ATRT bases in there, and he looks and goes, oh, they must have meant ATSD bases because these are gray. Yeah. So he just jams each of these boxes, puts them on the line, jams them in. Like, it sucks, right? Like, what do you do? Like, I think if they really are strapped to make this profitable for themselves, they just say it's on a big base. We'll make a card pack that adjusts points or something on it. That's really like probably the easiest way.
Okay, so my understanding is that I think that they print like all the cards that you get at like the events and stuff. I believe they print them themselves. Like they have that's not a hard fetched idea, right? Those are relatively inexpensive comparative.
I mean, it's Asmodee. They got card. They must have card.
Right. So you could just mass print the cards and but I think that blows. But that's not just the cards and the value. It's what does it do to the game? Because I'm sure they tested it for like months and months and months, and now that's completely different.
I agree. That's like worst case. But if they say, hey, we need to make this at least somewhat reasonable for us to recover, that's my only thing. I know I've seen a lot of games though. A lot of board games will just slap extra cards on the side, like, ooh, we forgot to put these in, right? Like, and they slap them on the side and they shrink wrap them in. So, honestly, if that was the case, like I bought it and I got a little voucher saying, send to Fantasy Flight to get one base. Or honestly, I might just buy premium bases and just go, okay, and put them on there and just kind of call it a day myself. I know I'm still owed something because the game piece is not complete. I get that. And if they send me to them, cool, I'll have some extra bases. But I might just do that just to get them, like, based on the table to play.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that. Like, I have a bunch of ATRTs that I don't freaking use. Like, and so, like, I'll just pop one of those off and put it on one of those bases.
So I agree they need to, if you're the customer, you deserve that base. Somehow they should send it to you. They should do something to fix it. Or either fix it or make it.
Well, not only deserve, it's just going to mess up the game.
Yeah,
so they have to, even from, like, a...
Yeah, that's fair.
They just have to.
Yeah, they have to fix it some way, or they have to rewrite the card. Right, there's something's got to change. So I don't know. It stinks, man. Like that's kind of the smiling Dewbacle. She's in some weird waters right now,
man. And that, like, for those of you who it happens, like there's so many levels of communication between a company and the manufacturer. And all that
for
stuff.
real.
And it could have been something as simple like Evan said, like. The guy got the work order in the factory in China and was like, ATRT base, but that's the wrong color. This doesn't make. You know what? This was a mistake. Let me just put the right one in. You know what I mean? I'm sure that
he thought he was they thought they were a hero, right?
Well, okay. Look how confusing it's been on Facebook already between large and huge base.
Jeez,
nobody knows which one's which, so that could happen.
I mean, it's right. There's a lot of moving parts. This is the nice thing about X-Wing was there's pegs. And a new set of bases like $6 to get those. This is not the same, right? So mess ups like this can happen because there's so many little bits and wheels and things. So it stinks. We'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll release some press thing in the next week or two because the thing's not even technically out yet, right? It was like out for like the early buys,
early release. Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll hear something by the time it actually hits like the street date. So until then, hang out. Play with it on large base, see what you think. I know, get a premium base kit, play it on small base, see what you think.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I got that. Yeah, I can just do that. It'd be weird that he's inside of a...
Yeah, that's my other problem with the premium bases, Sean. He's on the Death Star, right?
Or you know what you could do
is backing around.
Yeah. That would be weird. But anyways, yeah, okay. So that was the Dewbacle.
The Dewbacle. Dewbacalypse.
So the next thing, talking about early release, we got a core set. And we did an unboxing video. And I just thought, Evan, if you want to ask me any questions about putting together stuff, what's in the box, all that stuff.
Jay, this is Evan from the Weekly Reporter.
Fake news.
Okay. All right. Well, this is...
Who let you in? No, go ahead.
This is from Times Online subcolumn. So my question was, you had sent us pictures, in our group chat. Oh man, I'm putting together these troopers. Like how fiddly were those droids? Because they look real fiddly.
Real fiddly.
So playing fiddles all the way down.
Yeah. So okay. So I here's the thing. For those of you that are new to hobby, if this is your first hobby game, it's going to be a big change for you. But I think you're going to like it for two reasons. One, they look way better.
Jay had his painted ready to go, and man, they look real sharp.
Two, the hard plastics are easier. The hard plastic models, are easier to position and maneuver, and you can put them in any kind of position you want.
That's cool.
It's not stuck in the position that they give you. It's real tough. They're small. So if any of you out there are been in the hobby and have played Warhammer, they're very similar to the Tomb King skeletons. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. The heads are small and the heads are two pieces. They're hard to put together. So you got some options here. You can use plastic glue, which basically what it does is it melts the two pieces of plastic together. It's going to give you a more permanent hold overall.
Yeah.
But you got to hold it together for a while or put it in a vise.
Watch a movie or something.
Dude, it takes forever.
Yeah.
And so I don't have the patience or the wherewithal for that. So what I do is I use super glue. And not only do I use super glue, but I use Instaset as well because I don't have patience for this. Now that gets you into trouble because sometimes you'll Instaset. So Instaset, basically, for anybody who doesn't know, is it's a accelerator for super glue. So you spray the Instaset on one side, you spray the super glue on the other side, and as soon as they touch, you got about 1 second to put it into position, and then that's it. It's glued now. But I think it's easy. They come with instructions. I've never read the instructions, except for maybe for the bikes. But I would highly recommend that you read the instructions. They're not like I said yesterday on the Scoundrels. I wish they were more like Lego instructions, where it's like step 1, step 2.
Yeah.
They're not like that. They're just kind of like an exploded view of the model, and then but the sprues have numbers, letter number combinations. So B1 through 8 and then D1 through 8. So if there's 2 models on one sprue or 3 models on one sprue, they're all lettered and numbered accordingly.
Okay.
I did the first one I put together. I actually video recorded myself screwing it up and then fixing it. So I'm going to end up putting that on the YouTube channel so people can see that you can fix it after you royally mess something up. What I had done was I put everything on backwards. The main body was
My
backwards.
head's on backwards.
Yeah, and I was like, what? This looks so weird. What's going on? And then I was like, oh my God. And so then I so you just got to focus and pay attention a little bit more than you used to have to.
Yeah, that's so the clones are still like that. They're still soft.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, clones are still soft. They're different though. So instead of being like, you know how they had those jagged like puzzle pieces for the arms? They're just round now. So they just slide on and you can like their arms
angle
can be
it. Okay, yeah,
any
that's
angle.
cool.
Their head is on a round peg so it can swivel.
That's smart. That's way smarter.
And you could switch them out, right? And have different heads on these guys.
Yeah,
So I think
that's
what was
cool.
it, the phase 2 had just no helmets on, right?
Yeah.
So you know, and when they come out with the upgrade ones, like those won't have, you know, so I think you're going to have a lot of options there. But yeah, I mean, you're going to want snips, you're going to want an X-Acto knife, you're going to want super glue or plastic glue. You're going to want a file. You're going to want green stuff. So green stuff's a poly, like 2 blend that you put together. It's a yellow blue. You put it together, it makes green, and then you kind of like almost like modeling clay, put it in. And so I used liquid green stuff on Grievous's cape.
Okay.
Because there was a gap between his cowl and his cape, and I just filled it in with the liquid green stuff and sanded it down a little bit, and I was off to the. I mean, you saw the model, right?
Yeah, he looks really good.
I was disappointed in. I think really the only things I was disappointed in is like the binoculars and some of the cards aren't in there.
The binoculars not being in there is kind of a weird leave because the leader has binoculars, right? That's how you can tell it's him.
Yeah. So
you think you'd put it in there just to...
So the question comes, is they announced that they're gonna have those packs, right? So they're gonna have
card packs, yeah.
Well, no, the additional, right? Didn't they have the additional?
Card packs are announced.
The B1, like you can get the B1s or the clones in their own packs outside.
Oh, the
of
separate,
the core
yeah,
set.
just the side, yeah.
And so, right?
Yep, no, they did. Yep, you can get it's like the $25 to get the another group of clones
I thought that was it, but no,
they did.
So you know, I wonder if the cards are gonna come in there. Like it's odd that the binoculars have been announced but haven't been announced. Like are not in the core set. Like they've shown them, but they're not in the core set, which I think is.
I thought they were supposed to be in the core
super
set.
Odd. They weren't in my core set.
Huh. Because I remember, I believe that's one of the cards that Luke had let us spoil was binoculars. So I thought that maybe you just didn't get one.
I mean, but there was multiples of each card in there. So if I didn't get one, I absolutely didn't get many. Right?
Yeah. Is there any way? Oh, it's probably not. Is there like a contents of the box we could kind of sort through, see what's supposed to be in there?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, okay, we're looking at the cards on their website now. I don't see any of the upgrade cards.
Yeah, no, it's just the clones. That's just them cloney boys.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I didn't see any binoculars in there. No, anyways, yeah, I didn't. There was no binoculars.
That's interesting.
In my box. So I don't know what that means, everybody. I don't know if that means that they're going to do that shady practice of like you have to get, you got to go get the here. Okay. So here, oh my God, that's the other thing that wasn't in there, smoke grenades.
Oh, they weren't?
So here they are. So here's the 2 expansions. The unit expansions, not the upgrade ones that they announced today, but the 2 unit expansions. I'm looking at the clones one. Oh, there's smoke grenade. And then I'm looking at the bell. Oh, there's binoculars. There's the electronoculars.
Oh, gosh.
So that's exactly what they're doing. So if I want these cards, I've got to buy these expansions now.
That's frustrating. Because that's...
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to be in the card packs, though. So maybe you won't have to.
But that's great. Well, there's the other release that... When the hell are card packs coming out?
They're on the site. Yeah, they say... Right now, if you check on the site, it's like everything's unavailable. Or they'll say pre-order now. Maybe not. I checked earlier today for something. So it should be soon because that was announced at Adepticon.
Yeah,
the card pack. So that should be coming somewhat soon. Yeah, these must have literally just gotten restocked because I was there today and everything was gone. But so card is neutral expansions. Yeah,
neutral. Pre-order now.
Yeah, click in. Let's see what the Oh, gross. All right. I think it's Q4 probably, I have to imagine.
Yeah, so it's probably coming out soon. The other thing is, now that we're looking at it, the game mats,
Those were announced forever ago.
yeah, they're all pre-order now. That's nice.
I don't know. I forgot about them, honestly, because they haven't talked about them in ever.
Who cares? I mean, who wants 2 3x3 mats? Not that I'm promoting my mats, but I mean,
why spend $80 when you'd only spend $70?
Right. So yeah, no, that's interesting. So yeah, they're doing that thing, and I just got this feeling. I mean, we know they're doing it with R2D2 and C3PO. With you have to buy the terrain pack to get those 2 units. I'm guessing there's gonna be something in the bunker too that we're gonna need. Ugh,
Bunker would be real mean if they did that.
Oh, I'll bet you anything, because I don't think they sold a ton of the down ATST if I had to guess. So
I mean, I think I'm the only one who bought one in our store. Well, you bought one for yourself, and then one for a giveaway.
Yep.
And I bought one because I wanted Star Wars terrain in the store.
Yep.
So I bought that. And that I haven't even played that, because every time I play, I've got to play for a tournament. So I never get to play like a fun game. So I don't know if I'll ever get to use the down to ATST stuff, which is kind of a shame.
But yeah, okay. So let's see the core set. I like the hard plastic. I mean, I do and I don't. I think I got I think I kind of got soft with the last year of Legion, because everything was so easy to put together that I had forgotten what it's like.
Were the clones pretty easy to put together?
Yeah, they were very similar to the rest of the unit, the rest of the Legion.
I got a little nervous because I have one in a running animation, only 1 foot's touching the ground. And in any model I've ever made the more points on the base are the better, but to have just 1 foot stuck there, I'm like snapping my finger on the table right now. I'm like, that stinks. I mean, it's cool looking. It's just like having to hold that there and hoping because it won't sit there naturally on that foot. It's not perfectly balanced, so you gotta like baby that thing.
Yeah, that's why I like the Insta set with the super glue, because it's like spray the Insta set on the base, glue on the bottom of the foot, set. Done, 1 second later, and it's there. You know,
GG easy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you guys will like the hard plastics. They look really good when they're done. The droids and contrast paints are amazing.
Was that what you used?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that came out really good. Because I need to, I was talking about this earlier about those contrast paints, because I'm demoing more now, and people don't care that I've made my guys look like Cobra Commando. So I'm gonna strip all the paint and then just do them as clones. I mean, just stormtroopers, right? My rebels look fine. They look like whatever, like clothes. So I'm gonna need to. I was just gonna get contrast paint because it's easy, and I just want these guys to be table ready. And so if the droids look that good, then the white armor on clone. Have you done the clones in contrast?
I don't think you can. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
So they worry me.
Yeah.
So so usually what I've done in the past with the stormtroopers was I spray coated them, primed them in white.
Yeah.
And then I just did touch up work, and like I painted in the black, and then I painted a little here and there. And I was thinking about doing that again, but I was like, you know what? No, I need to do this for real. So I used the gray contrast primer.
Okay.
That was a terrible idea. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to do now. So I got to figure out how to paint these things.
Because
I'm going to have to watch one of those
right?
painting videos.
Bone white and gray.
It's not even white. It's gray. It's a gray and it's a skeleton white, which is more yellow.
Yeah, like a yellow bone.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, it's interesting.
White's always a hard color to paint.
Trying to think what else. So Evan and I got in a game tonight with them.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Man. Clones were good. Clones were stormtroopers with the D6s. Because unfortunately, we just had the one core, and so I split my guys to go around this building, so I could get like double angle on you, pincer you, and I didn't get to share the tokens. But the Bark's really good. The Bark speed is really mean.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty good. And Obi-Wan, man, he's kind of a beast.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that his ability is not just range. It's just if you take if you use your dodge, you get deflect.
Yeah.
But it's also for melee. Like, he's just a mean guy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't think they were going to be as well matched. I thought I was going to be severely undermatched on the droids. But well, I mean, that round 6 came down to a dice roll, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was for priority.
Yeah.
But yeah, though that was really good. I don't know. I like both. I don't know which faction I'm going with yet. I know early on I had said droids.
Yeah.
And clearly I painted them first, so
Yeah.
they're my favorite. But I am not 100% sure right now.
I kind of like, so not that clones are simple, but like the straightforwardness of them. You just keep them together. They share tokens, fire support.
Yeah.
If you got to kill, if something needs to die right now, you can give up half an activation on somebody to dump 2 units worth of guns into something just to remove it if you have to. Commander Cody looks mean.
So here's a neat trick for you. So the Scoundrels talked about, if you want more in-depth tactics on the droids and fire support and all that, the Scoundrels did a great podcast yesterday about this. But one of the things that they said, and just in case no one's going to listen to them, and from our listeners, is that if you use fire support, because you activate it and you can't activate it after that, you can get around panic and suppression.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. You just say like, oh man, they're going to run off the board. No, they're not. They're going to stand and shoot.
Yeah, if they have a face-up order token, you're just like, I'm going to add it to this order pool, and then you just move on with your life.
That's cool though, because they're hardened troopers, right? Like with stormtroopers and rebel troopers, they're just like dudes and gals who are just on the battlefield because they have to be. And if you get shot enough, you go, you know what? I don't have to be here anymore.
Yeah, and the droids, I was worried because of the white dice, and like I was telling Evan when we were playing the game, he started shooting them and he started picking them away, and in my head I was like, oh nuts, this game's over. And then I was like, wait, I have 8 or 9 guys out here. I'm like,
you did 3 damage, cool. And your blocks were on point with those too.
Oh yeah, I know.
Not only was I'm like 5 hits, and you'd roll 2 blocks, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like shoot droids fall down, like, all right, darn, 2 white dice that weren't gonna hit anyway. Now let's get my
but yeah, no, like, because it's 6 plus I had the 7th trooper in it at this point, or how many? It's 5 or 6.
It's 6.
So I had 8 altogether. It was crazy.
It was cool. It makes me excited. I think I want to do out of the new ones, I like the robots just because they're a little bit different from what I normally play. But man, that robot tank might swing me over that way. That thing just looks cool.
Dude, I know.
It's just going to be menacing.
The clone tank, and maybe this is because I watched Clone Wars, but not a ton, I kind of like was in and out. But like the clone tank just doesn't mean as much to me. I feel like there was better options there, but
it's big in Battlefront. It's meant to like match 1-for-1.
Oh,
right?
It's Battlefront. Oh, maybe that's why. I never really saw it.
I've seen it
before.
in Battlefront 2 anyway. For the current Battlefront 2, might be in the old one, I don't remember. But one of the vehicles you can jump into is that tank, that hover tank. So, they had to match 1-for-1, which is fine, right? Like a tank's a tank. Though, like, I worry. So, like, Dooku's like 205 points. Grievous is like 175. Probably going to be built to 200 because you don't want to put him out there just alone. If you do a tank and then one of your leaders now, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, or I think what you do is, okay, look at the Battle of Naboo. They didn't have any real leaders out there. So if they have like a cheap commander,
honestly, they might be the army that really, really benefits just from a generic commander.
Could you imagine?
Because they can just spread the commands down, right? Like,
yeah, you're looking at 6 core units with 8 units in them each, and if you can get a cheap commander, then like the droidicas, then tanks. Oh my god!
Because I think I'd drop if that tank can shoot twice with that big gun. Like you just even bring it naked, right? You just roll it up.
Yeah. Just
have it as an artillery so your guys can move up. That seems okay.
Yeah.
Right. That seems all right. 1 to 4, 4 red dice, critical 2. I think. Like, let's go. Right.
Yeah, so good.
I'm going to play them when they come out. As soon as I can get enough to play, even if it's going to be a weird half-baked army where it's just like 2 or 3 core sets, right? Like 6 clone troopers, Kenobi, and a bike or something. I'll do it just so I can get some reps in with them. But I'll be more into them when like all the extra stuff comes out.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool that they're getting those extra unit, the ones that got announced today, like the change-ups.
Yeah.
Just to let them have some customization.
Yeah, so they're calling those upgrades. These are expansions. Just the regular sets, and then they have the upgrade sets.
Because honestly, like I kind of want to just do Gen 2 clones.
Yep.
So I'm gonna be buying a lot of Gen 2 clones with Commander Cody with his Gen 2 helmet. Like that seems okay.
Yeah, it's interesting, the upgrade. I mean, it's basically just ways to get alt sculpts and more cards.
Yeah, it's smart. Because I would like alt sculpts, and that's a great $20 is real reasonable for one, right? And if you just want alt sculpt guys, like you're just buying them, you put the other guns in their hand, like I mean, how many like extra guys do we have that we don't use?
Yeah.
Like just to be able to mix in other stuff. So I think it's a good move. Hopefully they kind of continue with that kind of thing. Because man, where's my Hoth Luke? Give me an official Hoth Luke. And Return of the Jedi Luke is cool, and the new Vader is cool, but I want my Hoth army because I'm almost there.
I mean, it's real close, yeah.
I got all the Rebel veterans. I got the 1.4 cannons. I got Tauntauns. I got an airspeeder.
If they came out with those, what were those TIE strikers?
The strikers,
from
yeah.
Rogue One.
Yeah,
I'd
you're
totally build a Scarif army.
right.
Like
You're
Krennic,
almost there.
the
Yeah,
Shore Troopers,
you got Krennic Shore Troopers, Death Troopers,
and then a couple TIE strikers.
yeah,
What?
make like even one. Like right, I'll take one, just like a heavy. Like the ATST is
God, yeah.
probably okay, but it's not a TIE striker.
No.
Either that or those big empty ATSTs or AT-ATs, ones that just have like their carrying load gone or something.
Oh yeah, I want a TIE striker so bad now.
Yeah, why not? They're not that much bigger than a snow speeder.
No.
Like, so
That's what I'm saying. Because we talked about this before. They're an inner atmosphere.
because yeah, even a TIE fighter is really not that much bigger than a snow speeder.
Right.
Like it's how they scaled them anyway. So because in Battlefront, I keep referencing Battlefront, but that's my best comparison.
Sure.
To this is like you can use on the Hoth map. If you're Imperial, you get TIE fighters, and if you're a Rebel, you get the airspeeders, and you can shoot down TIE fighters. Right?
Yeah.
They're meant to kind of do that. So yeah, man, let's hope for some cool stuff.
Well, all right. I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or thoughts, reach out to us. And thanks, everyone, for listening.
Everyone, stay rad.
Join us next week for another edition of the Fifth Trooper podcast.
This has been a Fifth Trooper production.